Hi, I'm John Sidebottom, a 3D artist working for Diamond Games. This month I've been working on a vertical farm asset for one of the environments. Here I'm modelling one of the vertical farm pieces. I decided to create two types of vertical farm in order to add variety to the level. One was a simple flat style with plant containers on alternating sides. The other was this one, a cylindrical style with 3 plant containers on each section. Once I'd modelled the initial cylinder, some more detail needed adding, so I started experimenting, such as pulling the sides in and adding some more shape, as you can see here. After finishing up that modelling, as well as finishing up the other pieces, I was ready to move on to the UV mapping. This can always be a fiddly process that takes longer than it should, and which I sometimes hate, but it is important. Here's where things got a bit complicated. After UV mapping, I began texturing, but I wasn't happy with how the models had turned out. So back into Maya I went to continue modelling. This time, I added even more detail to each piece in order to make them appear just more sci-fi. With those details added, it was back to UV mapping. Okay, and finally, after all that, I began texturing. We decided to make the vertical farm orange instead of the usual white like in the real world, in order to better differentiate it within the sci-fi environment. But I decided to keep metal as a major part of the design in order to keep the overall sci-fi aesthetic. I also placed a nice little plant logo and decoration on the base just to add that extra level of detail. And there we have it, the completed vertical farm assets, all ready to be placed in the level.